Last night, the House passed the debt ceiling bill.
What?
Yeah, surprise! The bill passed 314 to 117.
Oh my gosh,
wasn't even close.
That is a surprise.
Was not even close.
That is a surprise. But it's not going to pass the Senate. Don't worry about it. No.
Yeah, it's going to pass the Senate. More Democrats supported it than Republicans. It'll pass the Senate.
Here's the part I like. Hello.
By the way, welcome.
Hello,
Glad Beck to the studio.
I just was walking by in the hallway and getting ready to do my show, and
You're early, aren't you?
No, I'm always
a little early.
No. So here's what
he's early.
I know.
No, I'm not.
He's not here till 6:30. Don't let him kid you.
So anyway, now I forgot what I was saying. The nice thing is, though, according to Chip Roy and others, McCarthy did a little extra negotiating to get to help from the Democrats and allowed earmarks for the Democrats.
Oh, that is a good thing.
That's great.
Oh, isn't that great? Yeah. So, just a little more help.
Got to reach across the aisle?
Absolutely. Got to help them. I mean, a lot of these.
Well, it's a bipartisan bill.
Yeah,
this is the way American government is supposed to work.
Amen, brother.
A little compromise here, a little compromise there. Nobody got exactly what they wanted, but it was good for America.
Good for America. What's
That's
another?
What it was.
$4 to $6 trillion in the next 2 years.
Oh, they made all kinds of
amongst
It's the
friends.
biggest cuts ever.
Right. Amongst
biggest cuts ever. What are you talking about?
Right. And maybe 1%. Maybe there are no cuts. Okay, they're not coming. But the biggest cut I heard was maybe 1%.
Now, are you talking about a cut in the increase in spending?
The increase.
There's
no cuts. Right. Okay. So, but just hear me out for a second. 1%, the biggest cut in American history. Now, think about how much we're spending.
Well, number-wise, it's the biggest cut in America.
Right. I know that.
And it's only 1%.
But think about.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Think about Calvin Coolidge, who cut it 50% and then 50% the next year.
Yeah.
That's no longer the biggest cut. Okay. This is at 1%. 1%. How much money?
Too much.
Somebody asked me from
at some point.
I can't remember, either Sweden or England. Somebody said, "Why don't people care in your country about this?"
Good question.
I said, well, they kind of do. Some people do. And he said, well, why do you think more people don't care? And I really couldn't answer that. I thought a couple of things. One, the number is too big.
Yeah.
Nobody understands it anymore.
Right.
Okay.
When you're talking trillions every day, it's like,
when you and I were growing up, trillion, I thought was a made-up word.
Yeah.
It was like trillion.
You never even heard it.
Right.
Quadrillion, all of that stuff.
Right.
A billion was barely talked about.
Maybe it's a big deal to be a multimillionaire.
Right. Right. Multimillionaire. Maybe he had $3 million.
Right.
Okay. So the number is too big. Also, I don't think people really understand the idea of their children being in slavery.
No, they don't.
They all think that this is just going to go away. I mean, somebody's got a plan. You know what I mean? It's not. We're never going to have to pay it because we can't pay it.
Right.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
That we can live today on tomorrow because tomorrow's never go. We're never going to have to pay for this. We're going to be Venezuela quickly.
Nah, we're just going to make everything go away.
I heard a banker talking the other day. He said there's going to be a real tightening of the money supply. Not that we don't. Not the dollars are going to exist, but they won't be going to the bank. They'll be going to the government, and the government is going to use that money to build things, et cetera, which means the banks are not going to have the money to be able to loan to the private sector. So corporations and everything else will not be able to get loans because all of the loan money is going to be tied up with the federal government. This is how you go communist.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In Ireland, they are now confiscating property Ireland is now going to people who, let's say, have 4 kids. It's a mom by herself. She had 4 kids. They're out of school. They're now coming to these people and saying, you don't need that size of a house. Taking that house, giving her a house with a 1-bedroom, and then giving that house to somebody else.
Well, they're not leaving her homeless.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're giving her another place.
Wow. It's happening. I talked to somebody from Sweden
The Irish
yesterday.
are putting up with that?
Irish are putting up with it. Sweden is about to start doing it.
Wow.
It is.
Wow.
It's everywhere. People have got to
That
understand.
could never happen here. That could never happen here.
Never happen.
Never.
That's what people
This
believe.
is America.
Yeah.
People do believe that.
Right. And then you know how it'll be sold? These people just have too much.
Yeah, right.
Well,
They have
they're
too
already,
much.
they've
they're
already
already
laid
there.
in that groundwork.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that
So
groundwork's already
what's
been
the
laid.
difference?
They've already laid the groundwork for hating the rich.
Absolutely.
And eating the rich.
Right.
And punishing the rich. And that's what Marxists do.
Yeah.
And they're doing it. And we've been conditioned over the years with the progressive tax to believe it's fine. It's good. That's the American way.
Hey, did you see the latest on? We talked to. You should have him on. Oh gosh, he was on yesterday's program about the Christian identity or the Christian nationalist movement. Mm-hmm. You got to be up on speed on this. He's warning that we're going to start to really see this now during Pride Month. And
we already are.
And they're going to start tying in Christian nationalists and making anyone who believes that the Constitution was written, by men and the finger of God, that it is a sacred document, you are a Christian nationalist. Imagine,
Jeez.
I guess all of my American history next door will be Nazi. It'll be a Nazi because I believe that.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
This administration is going to make us into terrorists.
And they're doing a good job of it.
Yes,
Yeah, they are.
They're doing a great job of it.
And when people are hungry, they'll follow.
They've already made those people out to be white supremacists.
Yeah.
And that's
White
the biggest
supremacists-
threat we face in this country.
Correct. And white supremacist is going to become Christian nationalist.
Yes, it's going to be one and the same.
Yep, one and the same.
That was James Lindsay.
James
Is that
Lindsay,
right? Yes.
thank you. Yeah. He's great. And nobody is listening to him. Nobody is listening. He's getting beaten up by the Christians and he's getting beaten up by the left because they don't understand. He is saying, we have got to fix reason firmly in her seat right now. We can't do anything except stand up peacefully. There is no Martin Luther King, but you've got to control yourself because they are his theory is this is why Target and everybody is pushing it so far because the left is like, we've got them. We have them so angry right now.
Well, I mean, that's what Target's deal was, that they, their big concern, right? We're going to move it to the back of the store because of the violence that our employees are seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What violence?
What?
None.
What violence?
There is none.
Yeah.
None.
There is no violence. The violence we're seeing is coming from the other side.
Yeah.
That's where the violence is coming from. This trans movement is unbelievable.
It's amazing to me that, and Glenn, you talk about, peacefully, but people are only going to be pushed so many times.
I know that. And he's not saying don't react. What he's saying is don't look at what January 6th did. You do this, the top comes down, and it's over. Yeah, so we have to be very strategic. We are very close to turning the tide on ESG here in America. This is actually happening. In good things are happening. So. We just have to know that our time is not God's time. He's got a plan. It will work out. We have to be on his side. We have to be very, very careful. Can I leave you with one thing?
You can.
Okay. Sorry. I'm so excited. I found this the other day, and I can't wait to share it. You are the first to hear it, and it will blow your mind.
All right.
From the New York Times, July 7th, 2009. The Place of Women on the Court was the name of it. It was an interview with Justice Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg said, yes, the ruling about that surprised me. It was Harris versus McRae in 1980. The court upheld the Hyde Amendment, okay, which forbade Medicaid being used for abortions, okay? Listen to what she said, and I quote the New York Times. Frankly, I thought that at the time Roe was decided, there was a concern about population growth, and particularly growth in populations that we don't want to have too many of, so that Roe was going to be then set up for Medicaid funding abortion.
Oh, my God.
That's Justice Ginsburg.
In 2009?
2009.
Yes.
July 7th, 2009. Justice Ginsburg,
gosh.
The New York Times.
Amazing. Wow.
You ever heard that?
No.
No.
I mean, I've heard that from progressives.
Oh, yeah.
Way
in the
back.
30s and 40s. Yeah.
Let me just repeat it again. When Roe was decided, there was a concern about population growth, and particularly growth in populations that we don't want to have too many of.
So this isn't Margaret Sanger.
No, this is so that Roe was going to be then set up for Medicaid for abortion.
Wow.
So
she said the quiet part out loud, didn't
she not only said that
Wow.
that's what abortion is for.
Wow.
That's why Medicaid was important for abortions, so we could get rid of certain
undesirables.
populations.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And no, have you ever heard that?
Not from her.
found
From her.
Certainly from
right.
Margaret Sanger and worse,
But that's
not
what I'm
from
saying.
her.
And in 2009?
That's incredible.
2009. How did the world miss this?
Wow.
I found this the other day, and I'm like, shut the heck. This cannot be right. It is. It is. From the New York Times. Check it out
Incredible.
yourself, July 7th, 2009.
That is stunning.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
All right.
Glenn Beck. Listen for him on the Glenn Beck program on most of this same network,
You've
actually.
already heard the best.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
true. Yeah, never mind.
He's here early today.